Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today is another session of how to use ChatGPT to create VBA codes to help you to analyze data. Today we're talking about another very commonly used Excel function, which is pivot table. Let's see how we can recreate pivot table with ChatGPT. Okay, let's look at our business scenario for this case. So now we have cleaned all our employee data. It's ready for analysis, ready for budget planning, ready for any kind of modeling. And of course, the most common function in Excel that we use is pivot table. So usually if we do this in Excel, it's just like we select our data and then try to analyze, let's say, by department, by country, and then try to count our employees. So that's the kind of common analysis that you would do in Excel. How do we do this with the code that we write from ChatGPT to make it just one click? And we will find out. Okay, now let's give ChatGPT the instruction and see what it does. So I'm telling ChatGPT to create VBA code that create pivot table for the data in the sheet employee records that shows employee headcount first by country and then by department. Okay, so now the code is done. Let's copy it, go to Developer tab, View Code, and go to a blank module and paste in your data. Let's see quickly how the code is organized. So firstly, it sets the sheet as the sheet that we want. That's good. It also defines a data range, which starts from A1. That is where we start our data. And then with our pivot table, first you look at the country. So that is the country. So the field name, actually, it has to be identical to your field name. In my case, it is country. Whether it's capital letter or lower size, it doesn't matter. As long as it's the same. Department, same thing. That's okay. You don't need to change it. And then for the count, the field will be employee ID. This one. So this one is different from my header. So you need to customize to be yours, which is mine. Okay. And then it will be head count and then it will be count. Okay, cool. That looks good. Let's save it and run it. Okay. So insert a pivot table here. Result. Do you want to replace the data? No, I don't. Okay, so let's see where things goes wrong. So add a new pivot table to the sheet. No, actually, I don't want to add my pivot table to this sheet. I want it to start on a new sheet. So to do that, I need to write another code. I need to rewrite this code. Okay, so in my second trial, I'm going to add that I want to create the VBA code that create pivot table on a new sheet so that it will add the portion to have the pivot table on a new sheet this time. So let's run and see. Okay, now let's copy the code. Go back to our code and replace with a new one. And now let me do a quick check. My spreadsheet name is correct. The pivot table create a new worksheet. That's good. Field name, country, and department is correct. While employee ID, I need to change that to mine. So I will do that. Okay, so now let me give it another try. Okay, so it looks like what we need. Slightly different from this one because I want one to be in the row, one to be in the column. But really, that's a very quick change. That's something that here you can simply move the department to the column and then you have the same pivot table as you need. Both on the horizontal side, that's totally fine. You can even add, like for example, the average salary. Another cool thing about using VBA to refresh your pivot table is that you don't need to consider of adding additional rows even if your data set has been updated. So let me give you a very quick example. So in the pivot table that I just used, I have a head count of 2,000. Let's say I'm refreshing this data next month, and next month, let's say I added a few more employees. They're just fake ones. And in this case, if I want to refresh my pivot table, and if I only do it manually in Excel, you can see the head count does not increase. And the reason for that is if you look at the data source, when we set the pivot table last month, we only set it to be to the last row available last month. But this month we have new rows. And unless you change this data set to be this new head count this month, the pivot table will not automatically refresh, and that will be one more manual step for you. However, with the VBA code, that's an issue that's very easy to solve. So let's come back to our new set of data, and let's go back to our VBA code. And honestly, it's going to be the same code. You simply just run it. It didn't work because we already have a pivot table sheet here, and that's fine. So you can fix that by easily either deleting the old tab or creating a new tab name here. So let's do this, and so now I just simply want to create a pivot table sheet 2, and then let's run it. Okay, so I've run the pivot table now with one click, and then you can see my head count is automatically updated with the latest head count this month. So this is very handy and as minimum manual work as possible. Okay, everyone, that's everything I want to share with you today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you want to learn more about how to set up VBA in your Excel file, or you just want to learn more about what we can do with ChatGPT, I do have a link to 2 playlists down below with further information for you to find out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.